All right, guys, we are live. We are live. Welcome everybody back to Knuckle Family and Friend Podcast, where we discuss everything that goes on in pop culture, video games, comics, anime, all that other good stuff. And as usual, I have the crew with me. Derek's in a very he can't get out of this location right now, but he might get kidnapped during this recording. So if you see it here first. So I don't know what else to say. Don't blame it on us. If he gets kidnapped, do not blame it on us. We do not approve of any of this right now. So it wasn't my fault. So. And as always, I got my buddy Anthony. And I got the lovely Rachel, and your room's kind of dark right now.
Yeah, because my eyes are bothering me, so I don't want to have the lights on super bright.
Okay, understandable. And as always, folks, we get together every Sunday to talk about the latest episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And once again, another good episode. Wasn't as action packed as the last episode, but I like this episode, which especially from where it started. When everyone knows that John Walker killed somebody. The only thing I didn't like was that they showed him running. I want him to run from the scene, not just he's just running by. So I want to see be like, oh shit, in front of these people. I want to have him see him run to that location instead of just having him run by himself. But I did like the fact that he was saying oh my god, I just killed him, blah blah blah, just freaking out already. But they started off fast with the fight. I thought it was gonna be a little bit later on, but no, we're about to settle this right now. And so, I'm not gonna, John Walker held his own for a bit. I was like, is he really gonna stun these guys right now? Bucky, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't let this wannabe. Wait, Anthony, what are you about to say?
2 against 1, bro. And he's still holding his own.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty bullshit.
Maybe they were probably holding back. They're like, we don't want to hurt this guy. Bucky's like, I could really hurt this guy if I really wanted to. So let me just hold back right now. So I don't think he was in his final form yet. So everything with Dragon Ball reference, anyone watches Dragon Ball Z at all, but I think they were taking it easy on him. Sam, okay, Sam is not a super soldier, so I mean, you kind of see Sam maybe struggling, but Bucky, come on, the whole world is watching. I don't want to see you lose it to 99-cent Walmart. We have a bunch of names for him right now. I've already lost track how many names we called him, but no, man. I remember. So, did you think that it was mainly Bucky that was that wanted to find him? Because remember, it's you don't want to do this, and Bucky's like, we did. I'm thinking that's probably you. I don't think Sam wanted to fight. I think you wanted to fight him. Sam's like, I don't know where I took to fight him, so I don't know. That's a little side note, but like I said, I thought it started great. My favorite part of the episode, we'll talk about it later on, but it had to do with Isaiah and Sam. But that was going to be later on in the episode that we'll discuss that. And also another quick note before I give it to one of you guys, I felt that this was the most, I would say, human side that we see of Bucky. We rarely see him smile. I mean, we see him smile a couple times, but when he was with Sam's family helping out, I just feel as though it's Sam was finding more of his peace. Where then that therapist, she was doing a terrible job, so she would get fired from being at therapy. So you need some black counseling right now, okay? Get some black counseling. So that's what we just said. We gave him some black counseling. Sam gave him the tough love speech. So I thought that was pretty dope. So I don't want to go off and say too much right now because there's a lot to get into. So I'll leave whoever wants to go next. Go ahead. I'm not going to give it to Flo. I'm just saying, you speak first or whatever.
Unfortunately, I can't stay long. So can I go?
Oh,
all right, go. You might die. So let's go ahead.
Derek in the neighborhood. Yeah, go ahead. Get out of there, bro.
We about to get out of here. It's not that bad. We just in North Philly.
Yeah, I see the way you looking around. That's all right. Yeah, I know.
I done moved 3 times. Okay.
Oh, hurry up, bro! Hurry up!
All right,
this
go
was
ahead,
a very human. This was a very human episode. I liked it. I liked that. Yeah, I didn't like that the action picked up immediately. Usually I like more of a build up. So to start with so much excitement and then have it be so much pacing was interesting. But I enjoyed Sam and Bucky working together, throwing a shield together, and seeing how Sam tries to be helpful to at this point I just call him U.S. Patriot. I know you guys call him Captain Dickhead and all that, but you're not even Captain America to me. You're
But
already
he does become U.S. agent. So
yeah, that
doesn't he become U.S.
even
agent?
better.
Yeah.
U.S. He always has been that to me though. Like we all knew that us fans, we knew that was the inevitable end of it all. But I guess I'm gonna make it short and say I really want the next episode to be bigger. Like this was cool. This was mellow. It was
An appetizer.
yeah. It was a good appetizer. It was a good. I guess you can say mid-season finale. It was definitely longer, so that's why I expected it to be more. But it was still good. I mean, I think Bucky has a thing for every Sam's sister.
Sarah.
He's got a thing for
Get
every
you a
chick.
sister.
He's been frozen for a long time. He's got a thing for a lot of chicks.
He was in Wakanda for a little while.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Damn, right.
Mm.
Oh yeah. And Zemo getting taken back by the Dora Milaje. That was baller. I like how Bucky did that. That was sick.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
He ain't getting
I
out.
was,
He ain't getting out
yeah.
now. He ain't leaving from there. He ain't getting out.
Yeah. You not like if he gets out, I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on the highest level.
Well, they're taking him to the raft, not Wakanda, so like he could easily break out of the raft.
You're right. Damn, I keep thinking they took his ass to Wakanda. They need to take him under their jurisdiction. Screw
That's true.
all of that. Yeah, nah, that's all I got to really say because it was just nice pacing, but like you said, a nice appetizer. I want this next one to be a banger. And what Bucky basically gave him his new outfit.
I don't know why. I didn't like how it ended. I'm like, just shut up.
Right. Like I'm sitting there like, wait, what? Like, can we see it?
They gotta keep you hanging.
Right, but that's what they're doing with these Disney Plus shows. These are appetizers. Like I said, I feel like these are these characters coming of age stories, like their phases into the next big chapter and what the MCU does next. So, we're just getting a little taste of it, so that when their movies finally do come out, we'll know the gravity of what they've gone through. So it's like, damn,
We'll eat the whole meal. We eat the
it's
whole
like,
meal.
damn.
Oh.
We gonna binge watch all these shows over again when the next movies get announced.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I look forward to it. It's good because, like I said, when these next movies come out, it's something we're all gonna go back to. Disney Plus subscriptions are gonna go back through the roof. Everyone's gonna want to catch up. Everyone's gonna want to catch up. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, by the 20th, actually, 4/20. I think that's when it goes up to $7.99.
$7.99. They're already doing it.
They're gonna see Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, and they're gonna be like, "Why is Scarlet Witch there?" And they're gonna be like, "What's WandaVision?" And people are gonna go watch it, and bang, they're gonna be stuck.
And where's Mephisto?
Where is he?
Mephisto.
I'm still looking for him, cuz I'm telling you, every clue, everybody give me a subtle look. I'm like, ooh, I'm watching you.
We're gonna dead Mephisto. That's dead.
He might come when we least expect it. Pause.
Right, and if he does, everybody gonna be in the theater like, I knew it.
Throw something at the screen.
I will throw something at the screen, actually.
You would.
So Rachel.
By the way, Rachel, I like your hoodie.
Thanks. It's like my only comfy one I got. But yeah, so to go on what Derek said, I think this episode was very like he said, more human. We got to have more set a lot of like the emotional and mental states of like where the characters are at, because I feel like they made this one slow in terms of like less action other than the opening scene to purposely. So like we kind of like get everyone situated, like they're good now, they're like in a mental place where they're like not happy, but they're like in a better, more content place. Because I think this last episode is just going to be like shit hitting the fan like crazy. So they're like, we can't put any like the mushy crap like in the finale with all this shit going on. So let's just do it for a whole episode and just get it all out.
Less talk and more action.
Yeah. So, but I think we needed to see that though before this big fight, because it's like we need to see that Sam, finally accepts the shield and what it is, and that it is important for him to take it up and that he is deserving of it, after seeing Walker like destroy what it means. That scene of him trying to rub the blood off after they beat the shit out of him was like so sad to me, just seeing his face of like just seeing that symbol being disrespected in that way and out in public, and like that's just that was a touching moment, I feel like. But then also Bucky too. I think it's great that like Sam was finally able to like just talk to him, not like in their little funny little like banter way, like picking on each other, but like actually talking to him to be like use his counselor skills and be like, hey, like this is how you actually need to move on. Like stop trying to chase people and cross moss your lips. Like you need to actually help people. And it's funny that Bucky ended up doing that before Sam even told him to do this, like with Sam. Like he did an act of service to like help Sam like and his family fix the boat, and gave him a fancy gift, of his new suit, and was like, here you go, I'm sorry, here's a fancy suit. Like
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I think it was good to see everyone like get in a better place and have all their things straightened out, and bros bonding on a boat is I'm here for it. If they just wanted a show where like it's just Bucky hanging out with the Wilsons and it's like a family show, go for it. I'll watch it. Like
we just need that one guy. We need that one white guy just to show a little bit of diversity on our show. that's what Peter thing.
I also thought it was really like cute and nice to see that like Bucky with the Wilsons and Sam was like actually able to sleep on something besides a floor for the first time and not wake up to a nightmare, but with a smile on his face, hearing the kids playing with the shield. Like that was like a good growth scene of like seeing him in a safer, like happier mindset.
And he smiled too. I thought that was a very important moment. Like he actually smiled. Like they showed
They both smiled so much in this episode. It was like cleaning my soul. I was like, you guys are adorable.
Yeah. Southern hospitality. They gave him some Southern hospitality right there.
Damn right.
That was it.
Bucky's from New York, so he don't know about that.
They should have. What? They should have had to meet soul food or whatever. Yeah, that would have been tough.
Oh my god.
That would have been tough.
With some chitlins, some cornbread,
greens, macaroni and cheese. Welcome to the South, buddy.
Some turkey smothered in ham. I mean gravy.
I'm about to say, I was like, wait, what?
I know, right? That's fat.
Yeah, we'll delete that. All right, Anthony, the floor is yours, my friend.
I'm so happy. Can you all hear me? Am I clear? Very clear.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, my take on this episode, I think it was the best episode they had the whole season so far. I think that the amount of use of like character and getting to know each character and getting to that climax of where they started from and where they're ending, I think they did like a brilliant job with capturing that before like this final episode, which I think is just going to be all out action because of the way they ended the episode, like the way that everything is happening, with the whole government and how it all just kind of went black. And then, seeing Sam like look at, this chest and like see like the suit, it kind of preparing you to say like, okay, I'm interested in seeing what the suit is going to look like, what's going to happen next, because it looks like it's just going to be an all out fight. Pretty much. And
also Walker making his cosplay at the end.
And then also at the end, the extra footage of him making his costume. He's definitely a cosplayer.
he had to look up like a YouTube tutorial, like how to make like the
Make a
Captain
shield.
America shield, and he's like,
Yeah.
okay, gotta pause the video, gotta like see, you know.
It's
So-
not
so-
vibranium, but it's something I'll do. I'll work with.
So there's some key things that like I literally like I wanted to key in off of this episode. And so I kind of wanted to like talk about like the only disappointment I had was Zemo. I felt like Zemo's like whole situation just like being captured that easy kind of seemed a little bit like a letdown because of the character that he's kind of portrayed himself to be already and how he's snuck away like numerous times already. And then all of a sudden Bucky just finds him and you know, go ahead, Richard.
Okay. No, I kind of read that whole scene as like Zemo going back to his family monument to be close to his family because he always had like that kind of like suicidal mindset, even in Civil War, where like he wanted to die to like be with his family at the end, and then of course Black Panther's like the living's not done with you yet. It like prevented him from killing himself.
That was dope,
And I think
by the
he
way.
just
Love that.
I think he just went back to that monument to be close to his family because he knew that like Bucky was gonna find him, and Bucky's whole thing of like crossing names off the book, and like he just figured. I think he accepted that like Bucky was gonna kill him, and if he wanted to die, he wanted to die in front of his family monument because like you could see on his face that like even though he's scared of Bucky holding the gun to his head, he's kind of like almost ready for it, like expecting it. Like he's not gonna fight him, he's not gonna try and run away. Like he's just it is what it is. Like he even says like I don't blame you, James, for like what you felt like you had to do. But then he's like actually surprised when like Bucky's like, bitch, I changed, I'm not the guy you think I am, and like I'm not gonna kill you. And then he's like, ah, shit, and he's like, ah, ladies, like I guess all right. Like
Trust me,
so
he's gonna be wish he was dead. He's gonna be wish he was dead. That's why I feel as though like when you kill yourself, it feels that's the coward way out of it. I'd rather you suffer until you're like, no, I don't want to live no more. But I feel as though what Anthony's trying to say is like, we're expecting a better ending for him. Like you want him to be part of that final fight because he's been all saying, I hate super soldiers, I hate super soldiers. I would want him to see him in that final fight. That would be like extremely tough. Then after the fight, okay, Dodori Malaji, now you can take me.
it's
I
not
kind of go with
his
Anthony.
fight though.
It's really not.
It's not
Like,
his fight.
Like the whole symbol
yeah-
of the show, like he has no part in that message of like Sam versus evil Captain America, basically. Like I
Why
feel
are
like
they
it'd be too
evil
crowded. It'd be
anymore?
too crowded. It'd be too crowded if Zebo was in there for like no reason. Like
Pretty
it's supposed to
much.
be, yeah.
They have enough money in the budget for all that in the fighting scene. There was like too many characters. There'd have been way too
He
many
might come back.
characters.
He might, you know.
Yeah,
He might
but
come
no, but I wanted to touch, but yeah, so I wanted to touch on that because yeah, I thought that was a letdown as far as him just being captured so easily. But it was also like a great moment of clarity for the Bucky situation as far as him, as far as his growth, and showing Zemo that he's better than the animal that he tried to portray him out to be. As far as pulling the trigger and there not being any bullets in it, it was almost showing Zemo that like you no longer control me. I'm no longer the person that you think that I am. That I'm just some, ravage killer that assassin that just kills people for fun. Well, I guess not for fun, but that he's grown past that. And then and I think that this is like a great episode to show also the sides of Bucky that grew tremendously as far as even doing a favor for Sam. It shows like how much of a bond that they have now by him getting the suit made from Wakanda. For Sam. Like at the end of the day, who wouldn't want a suit from Wakanda? If you're black or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So it's
If you're a
just kinda
black
like
man,
that.
you deny it. I'm sorry, Anthony, but if you're a black man, you deny anything from Wakanda, I'm taking your black card right away. Like, no, like, no, don't you ever not take anything from Wakanda. You better keep that shit.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
shit.
I feel like that. I feel like him opening up that chest was kind of like he should have been a little bit more giddy than what he was. But he had to play it cool. He had to be Mr. Macho, Mr. Sam
Humble.
Wilson.
I think it's more like a
humble.
big sigh of like
Yeah.
finally seeing the costume of what I'm assuming is going to be his Falcon / Captain America outfit.
Oh yeah.
And him just like realizing, okay, this is the moment I'm going to like, this is my decision. Like, this is the big, like, here we go. Like
I won't take it for
so,
granted. Like I won't.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I just kind of wanted to point out too, like I like that little small segment in there when Sam and Torres are talking, and he's like, "What do you want to do with your wings?" And he's like, "You keep them." So I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool how they threw that in there because Torres does
mhm.
become a Falcon."
He does.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool to kind of see that because I know a lot of people probably don't know that. But I like how they kind of put that subtle hint in there. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to do exactly how they do it in the comics, like for him, because he gets spliced, but genetically spliced, I believe, and he's kind of half like Falcon or something like that. But that would be cool, like, for them to introduce that later if that does happen. But I like how they threw that in there. I took out, just the fact of like that conversation with Sharon. Sharon, when she was on the phone, like they threw that little part in there too, because there's still some unsettling about her. Like, what is her agenda kind of in this whole series? And the guy on there, she's like kind of talking about like she freed him from Algerian prison. So I'm like, like who is this person that that she helped out? And like what major role is that person gonna play? Because she says like I can give you a 2-for-1. So it's like she owes somebody in a sense, and it's like who is it or what is it that she's offering, this person. So I thought that was like a cool thing that they added into the episode that, you can kind of just pass that by and be like, oh, whatever. She was just
Yeah,
talking on
no,
the
I'm glad
phone.
you brought that up.
Real
No,
quick,
I'm glad you
So,
brought that up.
I gotta get out of here, guys. See you
alrighty.
guys on see you guys on the big one. Can't
Next
wait.
Sunday.
Till then, yeah. Till then, I gotta patch out. Good talking to you guys.
See you, Derek.
Bye.
Peace. Be safe, man.
I'll do my best. We're about to go hit the road a little bit.
All right,
All
man.
right.
All right.
Goodbye, my
Yeah.
friend.
Bye.
So yeah, so I wanted to keep going. As far as like even with Bucky, so the Bucky situation. That's why I said like this episode to me like had the most layers, and like I really want to dive into this episode because so I'm gonna start off with Bucky. So the whole scene where he's kind of waking up, and Rachel, you mentioned it, or you guys have mentioned it about like he woke up and he was kind of smiling. He was seeing like his nephews, seeing Sam's nephews like playing with Captain America's
So I was
shield.
like, wait, what?
Yeah, playing with Captain America's shield, right? So, and I thought to myself, I was like, wow, like, what is that really supposed to represent? Like, I get it, like, it wasn't really like him having nightmares. He woke up smiling. But then that moment of him like sitting back and kind of like looking in the air and like thinking, kind of made me think like, it was like a representation of seeing like his nephews enjoying themselves and seeing his nephews behind the shield, playing with the shield, America's shield, you know, and that clarity that he had with Sam when he's talking about, how um how he the way he felt about Captain America giving him the shield in the first place, and how he was wrong for thinking that way, like a black man having the Captain America shield. And I thought that
Oh, we're
was
gonna get into
interesting.
that. We're gonna get into that later on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, especially from the Isaiah talk too, because I think that those two conversations were very, very deep. Um, and like you kind of had to like really dive into like what they're really saying. And I thought it was cool that no, not Sam. I'm sorry. That Bucky, actually admitted his wrongs and like what he was seeing before, and his thoughts on him being Captain America or having a shield was kind of driven almost seeing like a black man behind the shield. And he was like, I was wrong for thinking that way, and that you do deserve to to have this shield kind of thing. And even just the thought process of Captain America giving Sam the shield, right? To me, it was like a representation of just like you know America today, right? You got good people out there on both sides of the spectrum, and you have people that aren't black that obviously that we like to say are highly favored in our country, right? And it takes the good people to like see the good in others to say this person deserves to represent America. This person is American. This person is, a human being, seeing past the color. And I think that was pretty much to me the main reason of him saying, Sam, you deserve the shield. Because he said that I'm not going to have continue this label of America just being something that's just all for white, but you are representation of America as well, and that you deserve a fair shot. And and I don't kind of want to get into that because of the Isaiah conversation because it has a lot to do
I
with that
want to
as
get.
well.
Well, I just want to comment
I
on what
want
you
to.
were talking about.
Mm.
No, just
I
to,
was.
like.
Okay. No, like for me, I wanted to go to the Isaiah thing a little bit later. There was one thing I wanted to touch on. Rachel, what were you about to say?
No, I was just gonna continue, like, to add on to what Anthony was saying, where basically I'm just gonna touch on like basically Bucky's side first before we jump into all of Sam's stuff on with Isaiah and Sam himself. But to basically wrap up like Bucky's thing, I think it was just him finally feeling comfortable because he hasn't had a family atmosphere and like a welcoming like home environment to be around like almost his whole life before he went to the war with Steve. And even like the Avengers, you can't even say like they were really family because like he was frozen, unfrozen, and every time they're just fighting people. So I feel like this is like the first time he was like actually around like a fun, caring, loving family again, and like that helped him, help heal a bit.
Yeah.
And also the conversation of them, basically them playing frisbee with the shield was like the equivalent of like two dudes like throwing a football back and forth when they talk. But I think that conversation of like, well, one, Sam like just pointing out to Bucky after Bucky's like, I realized that shield meant so much to me because it was the last bit of family I had because Steve was the only family I had left. And I mean, he still has his book, and that's like the only thing other than the shield he has left of Steve. And that's why it's so important to him. But like now he realizes, like you said, like they had no clue what it would mean to give it to a black man in modern times. Like, because as one of my friends pointed out when we were talking about it, like Steve didn't really realize, I think, the true situation for Black Americans in America because he like jumped in time. He skipped like the civil rights era, so he didn't see that. And then he just comes in and like Nick Fury is a black guy who's in charge of, Shield, and so he's like, okay, whatever. And then he befriends, Sam immediately, like soon after, and like I don't think he thought anything of it. He's like, okay, there's like people around and like they're equal to us basically. So like I don't think it like Bucky said like they didn't even like perceive that to be like a issue. So I think that was just like a great thing between them to finally like both of them realize. But also too, like Bucky's face when Sam told him like it doesn't matter what like Steve thought about you because you can't let other people define like who you are, and like their thoughts don't matter. And I think that was like a huge relief for kind of Bucky to hear because he probably thought for the longest time that Steve was the only person, even all the Avengers and even Sam for the longest time, like no one liked Bucky. They just tolerated him because of Steve. So like, I think Bucky to finally hear that like someone else actually sees him for him and not just like tolerating him, that Sam actually sees him as a good person. And it didn't matter that Steve was like the only advocate for Bucky, that like, no, you're a good man. Like, don't just hang up on Steve. Like, you need to move on. So I think that was like a great between them. Like that was like my favorite scene probably in this episode.
There's a lot of character development in this episode.
Yeah, the growth between those two, like just seeing the camaraderie at the end between those two, like them walking, like when he's seeing Bucky out, it just show like that friendship. It seems like it's actually come to like a real family friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like you're no longer just a friend. Like you're pretty much family. Like you see my family, you stayed in my house, you've been around my neighborhood. It's kind of like us today. Like you have a friend that like comes, stays at your house. And you he gets to know your family. You guys kind of build up a bond as far as being with each other, and chipping at each other. It's kind of like a brotherly love there now. So it was good to see that at the end of that episode between them, and that the handshake, man, the handshake. I'm sorry, but I don't know, something about that handshake when he just turned and he just like
It
embraced
was a
them.
loving handshake.
Yeah, it was like
We shared a
my brother.
moment.
Yeah, they shared like a strong moment at that point. So I like to see that, as far as like, because I think that like at the end of the day, like even when I'm gonna keep bringing it up, but like just today's time and like bringing it together unity, this show like kind of shows you that, you got to go past your ignorance, because Bucky is like the character that's kind of seen everything, he's been to Wakanda, he's been, at Sam's place, he's seen, the old times in America. But it took those experiences that he had in order for him to have these thoughts and be like, I don't see any difference in you. All I see is a good human being. I see all of you, your family. I see this as a good, loving family. I see this as my family now. And at the end, it kind of shows that, like, these things that people think are separating people actually bring people together, and that you got to look past, someone's characteristics or look past their skin, and see them for who they are.
And that was good. Like I said, that was good. We dove into a lot. We dove into a lot about that. But like I said, I want to touch on the whole Isaiah and Sam thing a little bit later because that moment really like was like, God dang, like I can definitely understand what he's saying. But before we get into that, well, first off, the fact that we see Bucky and Sam having a moment, I'm like, God dang. Where were y'all when Wanda needed somebody? She was by herself, man. I was like, God dang, I wish Wanda would have had somebody. She was by herself, man. Like, give her a phone call, Sam or Bucky. Just one of y'all do that real fast. But anyways, I did want to go into John Walker, right? I think we all were saying that, oh, they're gonna somehow justify what he did. No, they were like, nah, man, you're done. You're done. Like the government pretty much said, okay, bye. You did
Yeah,
your thing. It
they
was like
I
they
was
not
let
actually
even
him go
just
surprised
like
by
that. I was
not
surprised.
even
I think we were
not
all
even
surprised.
just a
Like
not
y'all,
even just a buy. Like you can't get any benefits or anything.
but I
he
think
couldn't
it
even
also
explain the
showed,
situation. I'm not to cut you off, Rachel. I'm sorry about that, but like
yeah, it's
even
okay.
Sam was like, yo, I can help you out. It was in the heat of the moment, which much I don't like John Walker. In a heat of a moment like that, yeah, you might somehow flip out. You couldn't have a chance. You couldn't explain what happened really. So you weren't even there. So it's like, yeah, man, you do your thing. Okay, like bye bye. Like you're done. You're not any use to us now. He understands. Yeah, government don't give a shit about you. Like you were they made you, they used you. That's how the
Hmm.
government is. Like, and the fact that he was surprised about that, it's like, bro. I mean, we can all assume that yeah, you were just used. But I'm just surprised they just let him up like that. They didn't try to justify what he did. That we were thinking like, okay, they're gonna make him look at the good guy. No, they were like, hey, you fucked up by killing someone out of the country, so you gotta go. And
Yeah,
then they
one
go
and
and said,
done.
bring back the shield. And they say, bring back the shield. It's like, and that, well, not, I'm never gonna be ahead, but the lady who I think is possibly the power broker, who was Julia
Valentina.
Lewis from
No,
you don't
no,
think you don't think she is?
no. If you look up her name, she is in the comic. She's part of Leviathan and then who partners with Hydra. She has
Mm,
connection to like the Red Room and stuff.
So then,
She
Valentina.
but
would. They said, and they confirmed that she was supposed to be revealed first in Black Widow because of the connection with like the Red Room and the agents and stuff with that.
Mm,
She was supposed to be introduced in that movie so that when she appeared in this show, you would be like, "Oh, it's her!" Like that's why the movie was supposed to come out before this show. So
go
you're
fuck go fuck
you're,
up.
you're supposed to know who she was.
Rachel just spilled the tea on all of you Disney people. Marvel, y'all messed up. When you want to push back Black Widow, you should put it out so people be like, oh yeah, that's her. Now we just like
Yeah.
look at her from the lady from Seinfeld.
Yeah, I was gonna say the lady from Cyber. I was like, wait, what? So I was like, oh, it's Julia Lewis. But no, the reason why I thought is because she knew about him taking the serum. Like she knew about stuff. So I'm thinking like, okay, so she knows about the serum. Like I thought she'd be talking to at least to Carly, one of those guys. So I guess that went out the water. But nah, man. At the end of the day, Walker, you got used, bro. Like you got used. Like
Yeah,
they,
he was
much
one
I
of
don't like
them.
them, they fuck. Yeah, much I don't like them, they fucked him over. And then Julia did say at the end, the shield's not their property. It's not theirs. So yeah, it's like bring back the
Yeah,
shield. I don't have it clearly.
yeah, and that was one of the things I pointed out was that quote that he said when he said that you made me, kind of this way. Like it was all the government. It was them that forced them into this, such. I mean, they didn't force him to be Captain America, but at the same time, being a soldier, going to war, doing all these things, earning all these badges, sacrificing himself for his country, and then all of a sudden, like he has this one wrong, mishap, as far as losing like his best friend in the heat of a battle and taking his anger out on somebody that is pretty much, is a terrorist. Even though we look at it as, oh man, this person did respect Captain America, right now they are viewed, that whole group is viewed as, terrorists pretty much. So it's like, okay, so I killed this person, and because people videotaped it now, like, pretty much was like cancel, I'm canceled now. And,
Cancel culture.
from the
People were
government,
booing
like,
him when he was.
yeah.
I'm not sure when he was walking over to. He was walking. They were booing him. And it's
Mhm.
like, God damn, man, y'all really. I mean, that's
Well,
it. I don't like
he
him.
does deserve a boo. He does deserve a boo. I'm sorry.
He does. I mean, he does. But like I said,
He's
I
Just like
yeah.
like.
this just shows though that he didn't like this doesn't excuse anything that he did because he's still a dick and he's still an asshole. And
Hmm.
he's now just a bigger dick and an asshole, and he's obviously like went off the deep end after taking the serum because now he's
No,
just like
I am Captain America. Okay, Batman. I
he's like
need
roid
Batman voice
rage
on.
now. It's just like
Roy
he's just
Ray.
obnoxious. Yeah,
I
like
am Captain America.
And you
I mean, even if
gotta,
it's fine, it's like, I am Captain America.
yeah,
He's
he's
like,
you,
God
lost it.
damn, I'll be
you
scared. Like,
choking my boy
hey,
out.
I know,
But
man.
no, but
But
like, but
then,
capitalize what you just said. Yeah, he is manipulative and he's like a piece of trash. Look what he did to the family. The family's like, did you get the person that killed him?
yeah.
And he
Now,
lied.
I'll say that. I'll say that. But here's the other thing. I don't want to defend it, but like, that's a tough situation to be in right there. If you were to be like they'll make him feel even worse. It's like, okay, why are you here then? Like your reaction probably would have been really, really bad. Like I said, at first I'm like, bro, you really lied to them like that? But I'm thinking like, oh, but if you did
His
tell them the
sister
truth,
was having none of it. Did you see her
yeah,
No,
face?
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm like, she's like,
She's like, I'm not
you know,
believing this shit.
you,
She's
you
like,
know, you
yeah.
know when a black woman look at you like that, she's like, you about that bullshit, huh? I know
No, he
you about
lying.
that bullshit, huh? She's like that. She was not having it. I'm glad you brought that shit up. Like she knows something's up. She knows something's up. But no,
Yeah,
that
no.
was that was some bullshit. No.
Yeah, it's a
And by the
genuine
way,
lie. Like at the end of the day, if you're gonna sit there and be with the family and try to console them, and they say, well, at least did you get the person that killed him? No, I got one of the people that were involved in it, but I will get them for you. I wish I could do more. You say something else. Like you don't give
yeah.
people a blatant lie because at the end of the day, okay, you're giving them a little bit of peace of mind, but you're still a liar. Like inside the back of his head, he knows that he didn't kill her. So that to me has provoked this whole like, all right, I have to step in and cosplay this Captain America and go get him.
The black version. All right, now we can get to my favorite part of the whole episode, in my opinion. At first, when Bucky was like, "I need you to do me one favor," I was like, "Okay." And then we see Sam going to Baltimore. I'm like, okay, was he gonna help out Isaiah? I thought it was leaning towards that, but no. Sam and Isaiah were talking, and that conversation pretty much reminds me. I don't want to say names because people might be looking these people up, but like, it's like me trying to talk to a black person at his age, but hey, times have changed now. We're better than where we were back in those days. And Isaiah's pretty much saying, no, like nothing's going to change. And I said before, a couple weeks ago, I said America is not going to have a black Captain America. And Isaiah said the words that I said weeks ago. I just want to point that out. That he said the words that I said weeks ago. But then hearing his story though was really, really sad. Like from what we heard from episode 2, the fact that they still think he's dead. The woman that he loved sent him letters because they told him that he was dead. Like it was for me. It was a bit emotional, man. Like that that had to be tough for Sam to be in that position. It's like, God damn, man, they really fucked him over. And then the different serums that he's being tested on, like Isaiah, like suffered a lot, and in that suffering, it's like things aren't going to change. And you see that I see that to a lot of old black people. They're like, yo, things are not going to change. America is still America. Like it ain't for us. It ain't for us. But me personally, we have seen things change in America. Now, are they 100% as better right now? No, but I feel as though it's still, we're still working our way up. I mean,
It's been slow and rough, but
it's slowly rough, but it's definitely better than what he was back then. It seems like I know people I can help you out. But if they found out that he was alive, yeah, Isaiah probably would be a dead man right now. If they found out Isaiah was alive right now, because they would not want his story to be talked about at all. Even with Sam knowing the right people, could he be protected? Yeah, maybe, but it's honestly best to possibly leave him dead. But also remember, his grandson does become that what Patriot, that hero's name was, Patriot. Yeah. So I mean, the Young Avengers are coming. They're coming. So I would definitely want to see more of him. But like I said, I'm glad they brought back Isaiah, which I'm pretty sure we predicted he was going to come back. Like they can't leave him out just like that. But like I said, it had to be a tough conversation, and and I've had conversations like that before. Which I mean, I want to get into off camera about this. I don't want people know about my business, but I've talked to some people, and like I said, they don't think America's going to change, but I think it's better. Like we still have a long way to go, but I don't want to say too much right now. But like I said, that was like my most favorite scene, and they're not afraid to attack race. Like this is like, no, we going there right now. Like we are not afraid at all. That's why I feel as though this show, from the first episode, you got that feeling. Even the second episode when the cop pulled over Sam, well, not they pulled over, it's like, hey, is anyone Barney here right now? Like they were not afraid to talk about race in the show. I applaud Disney for that. Like go at it. Make people feel uncomfortable sometimes, because people gotta make people feel uncomfortable sometimes.
Well,
it's just me.
You gotta have uncomfortable conversations in order to make change. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like, obviously with everything that is going on, like it has opened up, everyone's eyes to some of the BS that's been going on, for years. And I think the conversation
for 500 years they try to erase our history. Sorry to cut you off like that, but
yeah, I mean, they cut it off to a certain extent. I mean, it's not like we don't know or that people don't know about it. It's the fact of trying to say, get over it or stop bringing it up. That's the kind of aspect. But the thing about with Isaiah conversation, obviously it was like very deep, because when you speak to people, that are older, they have a different take on history. They have a different vision of what they saw. They have a different vision of what they saw when they were that age. And in this show, it's portraying him as being a super soldier and being treated as if he didn't fight for his country, as if he didn't, as if he wasn't, just made on the same caliber as a Captain America, and yes, it was very painful to hear, like, things that they were doing to him, because you kind of feel it in this episode, as far as like, being experimented on. They were trying to see how I was able to, survive the serum, you know what I mean? And how I was able to become a super soldier. And that's kind of like, damn, like, you would just think about how much they probably were doing to him in order to figure this stuff out.
It was a lot.
Well, they thought of him more of as an experiment and an asset. They didn't see him as like a person.
As a person.
So.
And
Hmm.
he even mentioned, you know, oh, I just thought fighting for America was all that great. They mentioned the red tails. I like that they mentioned that, like all the American dream. It's like, nah, man, it's a bunch of bullshit. like,
Hmm.
like for him, and it's like I don't blame him for not seeing the future of seeing things can change. Like you point out, Anthony, guys that live like that, they're not gonna see any hope of the future. Honestly,
Yeah. I mean, obviously we've seen change. Obviously we've seen change. Like,
yeah,
America's making stride. You know what I mean? Like, more and more people, are seeing it from both sides of the spectrum and are starting to be more empathetic to certain situations, or to say that, okay, maybe I have been ignorant to this all this time. And you know what I'm saying? And that's the good thing about what's going on right now. But it's just, the way of going about it. And I think that the way they explain it in this episode, as far as even him saying, soldiers that went and fought for the country, and then when they came back, had crosses burned in their yard, were treated as if they
hmm
were not equal. It's kind of interesting, and it's kind of like, wow, like, the fact that they talk about that. But Sam and his self was like, well, I do know. I grew up in the South, so I understand that part of things. But then it's kind of funny because the way Isaiah's saying is that, like, if you're not bitter, then you're blind, and that's that
yep, I
old
love that.
school, and that's the old school mentality, though, that it's like, I have all this built up aggression over all this stuff and pain that I've been through, that, like, I can't erase that out of my head. Like, you youngsters, have grown up in a time period where you've never really faced these kind of things that I faced or had to go through in my day. So at the end of the day, I don't see what you see, and I'm bitter, so you should be bitter too, kind of aspect, you know.
And
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's what makes Sam's like line to Sarah at the end like so much more impactful because he's like,
Hmm.
Isaiah feels this way, and if I was in his situation, I would feel the exact same way too. But like, what's the point of all the pain and going through all that if you're not gonna stand up
Continue to
and try and
fight.
change anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you're not
If
continue to
if
fight.
you want to change something, you gotta change from within. You gotta change from within if you want to make real change happen. That's what
Yeah,
he's planning on doing.
I mean, that
yeah.
beautiful shot even just says that too. Like, his nephew, like touching the shield and seeing Sam holding it, and like that imagery, like that was great.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh
I
yeah.
love the training too. The
Uh,
training to go through with the shield, like I loved it.
mm,
I really loved it, and like I said, I'm glad they leaned towards the him, Sam and the shield towards the end of the show. Because if you just had it from the beginning of
Hmm.
the show, it would just kill everything. Honestly, I like how it was like
see,
built up from episode one to now. He's, I think now he's a pro with the shield now. I guess so. We're really gonna see a lot of great stuff with the shield on the next episode, man. Like I'm excited.
And it
yeah.
also shows
So,
how determined he is and how now he really wants to be able to do it because you have to remember, like, he's not a super soldier. So, like, that shield coming back
Exactly.
that fast, he can't catch it like Steve could easily catch it. Like, he had to really learn how to, like, deal with the shield almost killing him, coming back at him, like, chopping his head off.
almost
So, I mean, that just
decapitating
shows
him.
more of his determination.
It
Yeah.
was gonna
if John Walker
decapitate
can
him.
do it, oh yeah. I mean, if John Walker can do it, you damn sure Sam will be able to use that show before he took this serum. But he wasn't really he wasn't pro at it, but he was using the shield. So I just want to say that.
But that is a great, like, thank you for pointing that out, because I was always thinking about that, because I always look at the small details like that. You're not gonna tell me you're throwing this, vibranium, this super strong shield, and catching it and not having big bruises on your arms, or it pretty much breaking your arm in half, when you catch it, kind of thing. If
hmm
you're like if you're a regular human. So it's like, seeing him like train to use it, that he had to really put in the work, that to me was like this scene, because it was almost like a Rocky moment. It's like, he's doing this hard training, and at the end, like, he's like throwing it and catching it. And I'm like, yo, this is what I need to see before this final episode, because now
Yeah,
we're gonna see him use it, and it's not going to be BS. Like, it's like, all right, bro, how do you know how to use that so well?
That's exactly, yeah. We need these new training because it's like that's so fast. Every superhero always struggles with like the final. Okay, how do I use this properly? Like Spider-Man with his web swinging stuff. I can't think of another here, but I can remember Spider right now. But yeah, if there was no train, I would have been honestly upset about that.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I really want to give Anthony, Mackie, like his credit, like
Mhm.
as far as playing, Falcon, in this series because he's doing a super like great job. Like, that the idea that like, you got to give roses or compliment people while they're here. I feel like he's one of those like
no.
actors that does not get the credit that he deserves as
Mm-mm.
far as the
Well,
the the person he's portraying.
they always see him as the guy from 8 Mile. That's the problem. Like, here's the guy from 8 Mile that got his butt kicked, and it's like, nah. But we
Papa
said from the
Doc.
beginning, yeah. But we said from the beginning that all these shows are gonna put these characters in the world of light. They're gonna like upgrade these characters right now and take them more seriously. I mean, um, Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen, she played the shit out of her part in WandaVision. Now we have Anthony Mackie doing a great job, and Sebastian when he was crying like that. That
Mhm.
don't tell me that was not great acting right there. Like that was superb, great acting right there. And even the guy that's playing John Walker, like the fact that we hate you, that means you're doing a good job of your acting. So
Hmm.
what the hell
Yeah.
happened? Right? What the hell happened? Oh,
No.
did I just froze right now? Oh,
You froze for like a couple
oh,
seconds.
You good?
all right. You guys are good. All right. All right. It was so bad. No, like I said, everyone's scaring their flowers from this show. And so like I said, like you said, I want to get my flowers to now. Like it is, it is sad that people like to get their flowers when they're dead, but like no, we also giving these flowers like right now, like for real, for
Yeah.
real. And
Yeah.
now, well, are you about to say something, Anthony?
No, I mean, it's just adding on to what you're saying. Like, even just the scene where like he looks down at his nephew, after he trains like with the shield, like, it shows that representation of, the progression, and passing those traits on to like his nephew to kind of look up to him as like a powerful figure in his life.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you guys feel towards the end of the episode? Which I think Anthony, you called it out, or maybe it was Derek from the first episode. We're like, where did the guy that Falcon fought? Like, we didn't see him die. We
It was
just
me.
just yeah, that was okay. Yeah, you called him out, and now
Yeah.
we see him come back. And I kind of like the other guy was like, Carly, so now we're criminals. She's like, you haven't heard? We are criminals. So we're gonna use that name and let it haunt us, or use it to our advantage right now. Now they got people, ready to take over the GRC, which the GRC is some bullshit. It's some bullshit. I don't like it. I do not like it. Like I understand. Like I said, we said it from like the last episode. We understand their fight, but the way how they're doing it, it's just bad. I mean,
Well, the
yeah, call me a
GRC is
soft.
just being douchebags. Like, how do you like prioritize the people that came back from the blip over the people that survived and have remade basically the world coming together for the past 5 years? And then all these people come back, and you're like, okay, well, you guys need to move out of your homes now that you've been living it for 5 years, and you need to go back to your countries. And because the people
Exactly.
that were gone, they need to have their jobs and their houses back. Like, fuck you guys. It's like, no,
It makes
like,
no sense. Like, make it make sense, and that's one reason why it's like, and that's why it's like, part of me it's like, yeah, Flashman, you're stupid, but part of me it's like, the way you're doing it's all wrong. Like, I sympathize with what she's doing, and honestly, like, call me a soft, but like, I'm afraid what's gonna happen to Carly in the end. I mean, like I said, she seems like a nice person, but I mean, this is what the world's been done to her right now. Like after what they're done to her, it's like, what else can I do now? Like if I might have to kill somebody in the progress in order to get what I want, then so be it. So right now,
I
I
think
mean,
I think at the end she's gonna switch back to being like more of a good person. Like, I think Sam's finally gonna like break through to her somehow at the like last second, and she's gonna pull through. And
if she's alive, because you gotta understand, Walker wants her dead. and rightfully so. I mean, well, she didn't mean to kill his man like that, but like it was in the heat of battle. But I mean, he's gonna want revenge. So now I wonder like, is it gonna be a 3-way fight like John Walker against Carly against Sam and Bucky, or are they actually gonna like work together and be like, okay, we're together for this one time and stopping Carly? Because if they work together, they get the job done. But I mean, we might see the
It might be a split up situation where it ends up being like Bucky and Carly, and then like Sam versus John Walker.
You know what's gonna happen? They're all gonna be fighting, and Carly, like Rachel said, Sam's gonna break through to her like, "Hey, you need to stop this. This is not the way." John Walker is gonna come through and is gonna decapitate her, and then that's gonna be it.
I'm gonna cry if that happens.
I don't know if they're willing to kill off like a bigger female character like that means something to the show. Like that'd be kind of shitty. Like that's just bad optics. I feel like to be like we're gonna kill off this main female character just for reasons.
Do you think something's gonna happen like a moment at the next episode that's gonna be like, okay, see, Carl, what you just did right there is the reason why you need to stop. Like you might see an innocent person maybe get hurt or killed. I don't know, but I mean, it'll be hard for her to turn back now. Well, but then again, we still don't know what are they going to do though. Like they know they want to put an end to the GRC, but like, what are they going to do precisely? Like, do we? Still,
what
like,
exactly were the weapons in the crate? Because you kind of see what they were, but like they didn't focus on it. So like all she said was she wanted to stop the voting of the GRC thing.
Yeah, so I'm saying like, what's their plan? Like, you stop the voting, but like, okay, so what else? Like, is that something later on we'll find in the episode? Because it's really not much of a good plan. I'm going to start the GRC, okay, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see what else they're going to be doing. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you might have saw the preview when Walker throws the shield at Carly and Carly just kicks it back and was like, "Yeah, this ain't vibranium, buddy. Like your shield is so when you get shit from $1.99 store, like if I'm able to kick this shit back to you,
like if he's using a heavy ass metal, like that shit's not gonna bounce and ricochet off anything. That's just gonna like thud on the floor and be like, well, like.
Oh, I tried. I'm gonna go home now. Well, I'm nothing about that shield, so yeah. But like I said, his characteristics of that super soldier syndrome, like he might get really, really pissed off when he sees Carly. Like he might get into a whole new level of anger, perhaps, because like you killed my man, so
Void rage level 2.
So I mean, a lot. I mean, I think the one thing we know is it's going to be a lot of action. There really isn't many questions that we're wondering, are we? Like in terms of like that are unsolved. Like we don't have as many questions as we did in WandaVision.
I mean, the only thing I question is like, why would Sharon giving? Because unless I read it wrong, like, didn't it seem like Sharon was the one who basically freed that French guy to give the weapons to Carly? Because the guy was talking French on the phone, and then the dude that comes up is French. So, like, that's how I read it. And, like she freed him, and then, like, he wants his revenge, and, like, so she's helping him give weapons to Carly for some reason. But like,
freed him,
what's her angle?
We never see him get arrested, though. We just saw him, like, kicked out the plane or like that. So, like, I don't know if he was ever freed somewhere. He was still around.
They didn't capture him again?
No, he just jumped on the plane. He never was arrested.
No.
So I mean, I don't know, man. Like
that's the person that's only unclear to me is Sharon. Like her.
That's the only Like what is her endgame in all this? Because Sam did say at the end of all this, I can get you back into the United States. She might not want that. She might be enjoying her life, what she's doing right now. So
I think she has a lot of power. I think she has a lot of power where she's at. Like she's holding a lot of keys.
See, I'm glad you brought up power. Everybody loves power. Like John Walker loves power. He thinks that Captain America is power. He doesn't want to let that go. Sharon, where she's at right now, she knows people. Like she's got power too. So, but when you have power, you never want to give that up. Nobody wants to give up power. So, but yeah, like Sharon's the wild card in all this.
Oh yeah, there was
She's the
another
wild
thing
card.
too I wanted to point out too, as far as like I always like kind of look at things in like each episode, and I was thinking about the Isaiah situation and John Walker's situation, and the use of soldiers, and pretty much to me, it seems like both of them, it was like kind of a letdown. Like the government kind of failed both of them,
Oh
in a sense.
yeah,
Like,
Well, I
it's
think
kind of like
yeah.
like I'm gonna use you for what I need you for, but other than that, like I would just discard you. Like, you don't really mean much to me at the end of the day.
keep my hands clean. When technically they're
Yeah.
not clean, but disparage you like that.
I mean, it's kind of just calling out like how we kind of train soldiers to do what they do and to have a certain mindset when they go over to these places, and it's all good and fun until shit happens and it goes public, and then it's a problem. It makes the government look bad. So then they're like, nope, it's all them. It wasn't us. It's all them. You're on your own. Like, fuck you. And then also
That
shows too that like people come back and like soldiers come back and we have no real like mental health things for them. We don't like give them enough help to like deal with shit. Because as we see,
yeah.
Bucky's horrible therapist is like garbage. Like
She was shit. Like she was shit. But like I said, I like how, and I think this is one thing I like about superhero stuff, especially with Marvel. It's not all about action on time. I want you to humanize these characters and be like, okay, we really can relate to them because it's just that's how you like to a character so much. Like, it's character development right there. Like they're not just the fight, fight, fight. No, I got emotions. I have a family. Like from the start of the season, we see Sam talking to his sister and his nephew. It's like I'm like, oh, okay, see, they have a real life. It's not all about fighting all the time. And she's like, aren't you out there saying, world, my family's well being is my world. Like I understand what I'm saying, but you guys come first. So, like I said, I mean, I'm honestly, Anthony, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm right there with you. It's my favorite episode of the season so far.
Boom. It's a
Okay,
great build up. It's a great build up to the last episode.
hey Rachel, this
Mm.
comment is from you actually.
Oh,
It says
okay.
Rachel looks like Carly.
I got my frizzy curly hair going on today.
She just doesn't have the freckles. She doesn't have the
Yeah, I'm not a
freckles. That's
complete
it.
ginger. I'm not a complete ginger, I just got the red hair going on. The frizzy red hair going on.
Oh my god, that's
I like the comment. Thank you, Marco. It's a good one right
that's
there. I
good.
liked it.
That's good. You
That was
represent
good.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, right, Rachel?
Yeah, exactly. But she's the bad guy though. She's the bad
Yeah,
girl.
she's
So I
bad.
mean,
If you think
she
she's
might
bad.
she might be planning she might be planning an attack on us right now. Like remember they got people in the States now. They got people around them now. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
their
people
army
everywhere.
the army's been growing so far. So I mean, granted, they're not the fighters, but they don't need the fighters. They can we have the people undercover, so it's not all about strength. You got to be smart, and they're
And
being
you know
smart with it
what?
right now. Which
And you know what they say about people that have followers like that.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that you could possibly do is kill them because you immortalize them.
Yep.
So in this situation, if they kill off
preach.
Harley, what it's gonna do is gonna stem all these people to rebel even more so. So that would be interesting to see. Like
Thanos'
what
legacy still lives on, but now
happens.
Carly, now she's the leader of you kill her. Oh man, shit's gonna hit the fan right there. I
But it
don't
kind of
know,
shows you
man.
like how Zemo was kind of right this whole time of like
Yeah,
she's gaining too many followers, and when people idolize
yeah,
people, they become a symbol. They become that's how wars start. That's how
Yep.
shit happens, and it's exactly what's happening. She's building people with the message spreading everywhere, and now shit's gonna go down. It's like Zemo in a way was right. Like,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I know I'm just gonna say this once and probably never again. Look what Trump did. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Look what he did.
I mean,
truth.
yeah.
Like I don't know what else to say.
And
But
people are
now
still
we're
strong with what they
Still going
follow.
strong.
Yeah, exactly. People
still going strong.
with
His
what they
late,
follow.
I mean, the Capitol built the Capitol riot right there, and
Yeah,
that doesn't show you anything. I don't know what will.
exactly.
Is the
But yeah.
GNC attacking the GNC vote is that their equivalent basically?
GRC.
Oh, GRC, yeah.
I
My
think it's
bad.
GRC, yeah. GRC. You fucked it up, Rachel. But no,
Sorry.
Rachel. I'm really glad you brought up the whole lady that I thought was the power broker. Because now, yeah, the whole order's fucked up now. When we see Black Lives, I'm gonna be like, wait, oh, okay, well, because remember
And then it makes sense. And then it makes sense though that like she's after Walker as like another asset because like she knows he took the serum. She knows he can be like easy manipulated to like working for her now probably. So like it makes more sense. She has experience working with kind of like brainwashing and serum shit. So
Yeah.
But my thing is another question. Okay, once Carly is stopped, what's Walker gonna do now? Because he ain't got no army. The government. I mean, even the government might want to arrest him. I mean, granted, the government's in the shithole right now with what the flag smashers do right now. But like, what's he gonna do after? I mean, isn't he part of the Thunderbolts too? So maybe they might bring back the Thunderbolts in the future, which I completely doubt that. But I think
I honestly don't know too much about Walker's character in the comics and where he goes, and how Marvel's gonna take his character and interpret it.
Yeah.
But I also thought it was interesting because, like, obviously the government, the U.S. government, other than what's her face going up to him, she knew that he took the serum, but like, obviously the government didn't know that he took the serum because, like, I felt like if they knew he took it, like, he would be considered more of a threat, and I feel like they would have just like locked him up.
That's true. I don't think they knew that. They did not know.
I don't think they know that either.
They didn't mention it. They're like, yeah, we know your situation, we know like your story, but we're not listening to that bullshit. So like, they didn't care that like Lamar got killed. They didn't care that like anything. They were just like, nope, you're dumb, and like didn't even know that like he doesn't have the shield. Like they think he still had it. So like they don't even know. Like
he didn't get a chance to speak. Like he said, "My honor, can I speak?" Or and he's like, "Speak." He said something, so I forgot. But like they wouldn't let the guy speak. Like I said, I understand we don't like him, but at least let the guy talk. Like, come on, he has a fair right to talk. But now you're like, no, bye bye. So don't. That's why I don't.
Yeah, they don't give a damn. You know.
Nope.
And it speaks volumes. Just for the fact that like stripping this man away that fought for the country. Well before this all happened. That's what it kind of brought me back to. Like that was the only part about it that like I kind of felt for John Walker was the fact that he had did a lot. He had did a lot for the country. You know what I'm saying? Like he fought in a lot of wars. He earned himself like the badges that he earned. He earned those badges. Like
And how many tours did him and Lamar do? Did he mention?
I think it was a lot. And yeah, it's just it's kind of sad. Yeah, the fact that they stripped him away from everything. Like I don't think he deserved to have all his benefits and stuff taken away. If anything, you're just not Captain America anymore. Like you can't represent this country anymore.
But that just shows they're gonna take away his benefits, which means he can't get any like therapy help with anything. They're like, we're just gonna let you go. It's like, how do you expect this person who obviously committed what you think is a horrible crime, which he did, but like obviously he needs help after that. You'd be like, nope, you're not gonna get any assistance. You're gone.
Yeah, like Sam I remember Sam said, "I can help you." It was in a moment. Like Sam felt for the guy. Like I said, once I know I said this 1,000 times. As much as I don't like Walker, if something that ever happened to one of my friends, I might lose control. Might kill somebody too. The government would be like, "Oh, that was your fault. You did it." Bye bye.
I was wondering how
So, yeah.
much of that was Sam actually empathizing with Walker, or Sam just like trying to de-escalate the situation, like when you have like a dangerous person that you're trying to talk down from like doing something.
Alleged.
Like, yeah, I think it was more of that versus him actually. Maybe he did care a little bit for Walker, like the
I
situation.
think
But
I
I
think
don't know.
I think I think it's a mixture of both. Because what I say, because when he said it was a hidden moment, I can talk to them. That part showed that he cared. But it's like, yo, man, but you gotta give me the shield. As soon as Walker heard that, it's like, oh no, we about to fight right now. So this is what it's all about. And I honestly thought when Bucky says, "Yeah, we do," I felt that was probably more on Bucky, honestly, than Sam. Because Sam is the type of guy that would like to talk things about it. Because he was talking to Carly, and it almost worked until John came in. And it's like, hey, we talked long enough. Carly, you're under arrest. So Sam, like I said, he helps guys that go through that type of trauma. So I think part of me does believe he was actually trying to help the guy.
Yep.
Mm.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's because of Sam's heart. Sam has a big heart, just like Steve. You know what I'm saying? Like Steve thought of others before. He thought of like his own like personal strength and wanting to fight people. It was like, let me talk you off this ledge first before we go to something physical.
Yeah, and people might want to call him optimistic, but I feel so like I said, it's not all about guns blazing, fighting all the time. You really got to talk things out. Like, it's not like I guess that makes it hero because I think there is like question people were asking, saying, "Oh, what are Bucky and Sam trying to do? Why can't you let?"
Sorry.
Why do you always close the door, Milo?
Hey, Mel, can you close my door?
Oh, are you on your podcast?
Yeah.
Hi, podcast people.
They said hi.
Okay.
Yo, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
my mom
that's
just came
funny.
home, so my dog like freaked out.
Yo, everybody
That
take a
is
look
funny.
at Rachel. No, everybody take a look at Rachel Blush right now. Yo,
I know.
Yo, she's
Oh, that's so
best.
cute. Oh, that's adorable.
Nah, that was dope.
You doing your podcast thing? Oh, she called him. Oh, her mom knows. We're getting more famous, guys. We're getting more famous.
But she's always like, "What are you doing in your room on Sunday? Like, who are you talking to?" And I'm like, "Podcast people."
What
that's so
podcast? I thought we were your friends. Oh man, I'm a little bit. Dang. I'm
Well,
hurt
you
now.
are. But we're doing a podcast.
She's throwing us out just like the government. It's just like,
I'm only using you guys right now. Although it's not like
Yeah,
I
you'll
invited
be
everybody
using.
here. No, it's not like I invited everybody here. It's not like I hosted this shit. You know what I'm saying? No, but we
nah,
pretty
good.
much touched base on everything that happened in this episode right here. Like
Yeah.
like I said, shit's gonna go down next week. Like shit,
Yeah.
it's gonna go down next week.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
Rachel, I don't have a question for
wanna-
you though. What do you want to say? No, I think what you want to say.
No, I was just gonna comment on one thing about the episode it's pretty much more on the deeper end. So I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
go ahead.
you wanna ask Rachel
No,
first?
talk it.
No, so the
No,
one thing.
Rachel will be later. Rachel, it's
Okay.
not anything important. Well, it is important, but like, it's something about this coming.
I could be put on hold.
It's
It's
not
okay.
relevant. Okay. So one of the things that really that stuck out to me like really seriously like with Isaiah's conversation was about it being white man's shield and
Mm.
the way he says to him they will never accept like what you were saying as far as they will never accept a black African American. And the thing that stuck out to me that he said was that no self-respecting black man will want to be. And I was like, wow, like, that's one of those like things that like it strikes a little hard because it's like if you do this, you're pretty much your sellout. And those are one of the things that are like one of the
But I think
the biggest things. No, seriously, these are one of the biggest things in
Yo,
like
no, I
black
agree with
culture.
what he's saying.
You
Yeah,
know, like it's that idea that like do you respect who you are? Like you can't do this because of what I've been through. So if you don't feel
exactly.
that way, you're
You know what
not.
America has done to people like us. So why would you
Mhm.
go ahead and take that shit after all our people have suffered through that shit? Like,
Yeah.
But then I think
that's
that's why Sam says what he says, though. he's like,
We got to make a
yeah,
change from within.
yeah, like you could keep having that mindset, but in reality, if every generation of people keep having that mindset and not moving forward, like you're gonna be stuck in the same spot because you're not gonna try and like
hmm
move
But that's
beyond
not.
that.
But yes,
But
but that's what you call progression, though.
Hmm.
And so what I'm saying is that that's the old school mentality, and
yes,
that happens like quite a bit, where it's like, any self-respecting man would never do this, black man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But
So, but the
it's
thing
but
that, but let me
go no,
just
go
use
ahead.
what she was saying. Let me see what she was
Yeah.
saying. Like, but yes, I did like a conversation between
Hmm.
Sarah and Sam at the end, because Sarah was like, "Well, he can't let him think for you. You do what you
Mhm.
want to do. Like, don't go based off of what he's telling you. Like, you understand his pain, you understand what he went through, but you know that in order for things to keep going the way they are and progressing, you have to do what you think is right and continue that fight and showing others that, like, that yes, we can hold the shield and represent the country in the same light. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
No, no, man. It's up to us to show the change. At the end of the day,
I mean, that
we're
shot
good.
of his cousin touching the shield is basically all Sam needs to see of like this is what this is why he needs to do it because just seeing how
Nephew,
his
nephew.
yep, sorry,
Mhm.
little nephew like looked up at him, like that's the point. Like
Mhm.
that's why he needs to do it. So like that was just
Yeah,
perfect for me. Like
that's what I said. This
Mhm.
episode was. We need to
Mhm.
rewind and say this episode was
yeah.
probably
The
one of the
best.
best episodes that they
So
had. This
yeah,
season.
exactly. Like I said, Disney was not afraid to attack on this subject. I'm sure there's gonna be people gonna be like, "Oh, the race car, this and blah blah blah." Well, you're one that's the problem.
Mm.
You're part of the
Can I read
problem.
a small abbreviation of because I thought this was funny. I found it on Tumblr, where it was someone, a screenshot of someone tweeting like, "I'm so tired of like Disney and Marvel like making everything political with these shows and blah blah blah." And then someone shared like an old like picture of like Stan's soapbox from like Stan Lee answering like fan mail in the old comics, and is basically him saying. We get a lot of readers who want to point out that comics are supposed to be escapist reading and nothing more, but I can't agree with that. A story without a message is like a man without a soul. Even the most escapist literature contained moral and philosophical points of view. None of us lives in a vacuum.
Mm.
So even like Stan had to tackle these people's opinions at the time of like not wanting this stuff shoved in their face in their escapist hero stories. But like Stan says, like how do you not let it reflect life? Like how do you not make a commentary on things?
All right, R.I.P. to the legend. That's why.
RP. And it bothers you. It's like anytime when black people when we try to like explain the shit that goes on with us, it's always political. That's why I
Mm.
posted that. I mean, it might be part of it, or it might be out of it. I don't know. That's why I posted that video. Shannon Sharp said, "Don't say you have black friends where you're not like empathizing what we're going through." Because every time we talk about our issues, oh, he's political. He's all that type of bullshit. It's like, no, fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Don't
Yeah.
say you're friends with, don't say you're friends with black people. Just say you know black people. That's it. Like, if you don't sympathize with what we go through, you know black people. You're not friends with black people. So, just saying. Shout out to Shannon Sharp on that shit, because that shit was dope.
Yeah.
Love
It's
that
just
shit.
the idea that you can't sympathize or empathize with, someone of the
Empathize,
black
yeah.
race. Yeah, then yeah, you just have associates. Like you don't have black friends. But it's yeah, but
Deuces.
like I said, that was the biggest part, of that episode.
Mm-hmm.
About what he said there. That was like, it kind of like made me go, "Ugh." That was pretty
Mm-hmm.
heavy for him to say something like that. So, um,
Yeah, no, man. I can. It's other things I can relate to that, but I said I'll get it off camera because I don't want to piss off people or whatever like that. Whatever. But that's what it is,
yeah,
though. But no, man, this is a good episode. Like honestly, this is my favorite discussion that we had so far.
hmm
I mean,
Yeah.
I wish Derek was here, but he's probably kidding them right now. I don't know.
No.
He's in Madripoor.
He's definitely Madripoor.
he's there. He's partying at that club right now. He got that snake. Oh god, that shit was.
He's got a bounty on his head. He's trying to run through the shipyard. Okay, he's trying to.
Oh man. Well, no, we about to wrap things up. I'll ask Rachel the question off camera because I think it'll be better that way. I think if I go on camera, it's gonna be on way too long. And be like, So, anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Oh yeah, be sure to check us out. Well, that depends on Rachel, but this Saturday we'll be getting together and talk about the Mortal Kombat movie that comes out on Friday. So Anthony will hopefully you'll be around. Like you said, okay, I'm not talking to you, Rachel. I'm talking to Anthony. But I say hopefully we get together this Saturday, like not night, but like late Saturday afternoon. You get other people involved to talk about the Mortal Kombat because I know you're excited to talk about that movie.
Oh yeah,
super excited.
I can't wait.
Hopefully it's good. Hopefully we have something to look forward to talk about after Friday. So
I feel like it's an underrated movie right now, and once it comes out, everybody's gonna be like, "Wow, that was good."
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Well, thank you guys, everyone that showed up today. Thank you, Mark Garcia, for that comment. That comment is gold right there. Actually, you know what? I gotta keep this. I want to keep this comment, but I don't know how to. But I'll look for that later. But anyways, yeah, I should screenshot. There we go. I'll do that shit. All right, guys. Like I said, be sure to check us this coming Saturday. And obviously, check us next Sunday. And we talk about the finale of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, everybody, y'all have a good night. Be safe. We'll see you guys next weekend. Oh, I'm waiting for y'all to say bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.